Hello and welcome everybody to today's Commodities Corner session presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. So during today's session, we will be covering the biggest trading opportunities right now. We'll be looking at how to use fixed odds trading for maximum profits. We'll be covering live market analysis, and we'll also be identifying high probability trade setups on the commodities. Now, as always, we will keep the session nice and interactive. If you do have any questions at all, do please keep those coming, and we'll go through those during the course of the session. We will be doing a lot of technical analysis and also going through the top setups and trade ideas that we see as we head into the US session this afternoon, and of course as we head into next week as well. So first of all, before we get started, we'll cover the top commodities we trade on the binary platform. Those include, on the metals, we've got gold, silver, palladium and platinum, and on the energies we will be trading crude oil. We've got some good setups actually just lining up on crude oil right now, which we'll have a look at very shortly. Just before we get started and we go into the main session, let me introduce you first of all to the Gold and Silver Club. We are an international commodities trading research and advisory group. We specialize in the precious metals, the energies and the agricultural markets. The Gold and Silver Club is recognized as a leading go-to authority on commodities, and as internationally respected experts, our analysis and opinions on the metals, the energies and the agricultural markets are routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which includes Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, Global Banking and Finance Review, the Wall Street Journal, to name a few. Our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 75,000 private and institutional traders worldwide. So that's just a bit of background on the Gold and Silver Club. So you're in very safe hands today. So we'll start off, we'll have a look at the gold price. We're currently trading on gold at $1,083 US per ounce. We'll take a look at that very shortly. We've been sitting around 5-year lows on gold throughout the last week, and we have some interesting technical price structure, which we'll have a look at very shortly on gold. Before we do so, we'll look at the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategy. So we've had some really good opportunities via the binary.com platform to actually sell short and get into some good full trades. So first of all, we've had an opportunity to continue the momentum to the downside on palladium. We had a full trade for the price to be lower, entering at $554 US per ounce on palladium, which has really broken down nicely over the last week. We've seen a continuation. We're getting very close to the swing lows there, going back to the end of August. Platinum has also given us another sell short after it broke major support. We've continued to see the sell-off. So again, platinum, we've had a very straightforward trade just for a full trade for the price to be lower, entering at $869 US per ounce, as platinum has continued to break down below its major key support zones. We've also had a good trade opportunity over this week on gold as well, as we've continued to break down. We've broken and closed below major support on gold, so our latest entry was at $1,079 US just for a full trade for the price to be lower. So you can see here overall over the last week we've really taken advantage of pressure on the metals to the downside against a very strong US dollar, which has provided us with some really good sell short opportunities. So what I'll do, I'll go over the technical trade setups now. First of all, before we do so, we'll just have a look at two different types of trades which we'll be taking advantage of. So those are the higher and the lower types of trades. Very straightforward way to trade with the binary platform. Essentially what we are doing is we are looking for the price. If we go for a higher trade, we're looking for the price to close higher than our initial entry. So the execution price that we get into the trade, we need the price to close just 1 point higher than our entry to win the entire payout. And if we select lower, we win the payout. If the market exit price is strictly lower than the entry price, only again needs to be 1 point lower than our entry, and we will win the entire payout. So very straightforward. All we need to really get correct here, one, of course, is the entry, two is the direction of the market, but third is the actual time frame of that, which is what we'll be going over very shortly. So those are the 3 points: entry, you also want to get the direction correct, and of course you want to get the time frame correct. Okay, and that's what we'll be going over now. So I'll just move my screens over. Again, if there are any questions or comments, do keep those coming in the chat function, and we can go over those during the course of the session. We will start off with oil because I see a very good trading opportunity just now actually on oil, which we can take advantage of. So what I'll do, I'll share my screens. You should be able to see that come up very shortly. Okay, good. You should be able to see the crude oil chart at the moment. We're on light sweet crude oil right now. Perfect. Yep. Thanks, guys. Okay, excellent. Right. So we start off with the light sweet crude oil here. So a few factors that you want to have a look at. Light sweet crude oil last week broke through major support. So we've been selling oil since we've broken through this key support. Now, what was really important about the trade that we've taken here on both Brent and we're looking to take now on light sweet crude oil, actually, let me go over to Brent crude oil, is we got a break, and not just a break, but a close below major support. And it didn't sell off actually too significantly once we closed below that support zone, so it enabled us enough time and a good entry here to get in on a break of the low of, you can see here just the candle here, it was at 46.40 where we entered into a sell short, and we've continued to break down. Now, I see more downside here for Brent and also for light sweet crude oil. We've continued the momentum to the downside. We can actually have a look at higher time frames here. And you can see particularly on the monthly chart where we're looking very bearish indeed. We're coming back down to test a major key swing low on the chart here as well. So we're really starting to break down significantly. If we have a look at the daily chart, you will note on Brent crude oil at the moment, light sweet crude oil is actually more bearish today than Brent, but you can see a nice little pennant formation. We're getting tighter and tighter with the price action there. So you can see very clearly we're getting much tighter. We've got a doji formed yesterday, inside candle forming today, and we're looking for a breakout from this level. Now, if you've not come across a pennant formation before, if that is completely new to you, I will show you exactly what tends to happen with a pennant formation once they finally break out. Okay, so let me just bring out some examples for you just from the Private Traders Club, just to give you a little bit more insight into what these setups typically look like and how they typically break out. So this is just showing you some recent examples of pennant formations. Okay, so I'll just show you here. You can see very clearly pennant formations. So typically when you get the prices getting tighter and tighter, the price structure gets tighter. Once you finally get a breakout, you get a really decent move. So you can see here recent examples on gold, on silver. We've had a nice pennant formation. We broke out to the upside. Brent crude oil, this was on the weekly chart recently where we had a lovely breakout of key resistance. And then again here, nice trade breakout. This was on gold where we had a really decent breakout after a pennant formation more recently, and also on soybeans recently where we broke down from major support. So essentially what you want to do is once you have a pennant formation, we're looking for a breakout. The tighter the price structure gets, the more likely we are to get a big move. We're on the daily chart at the moment, and I'm anticipating a breakdown lower in price. The reason I'm anticipating a breakdown lower is because natural gas today is selling off quite significantly, and also light sweet crude oil is selling off as well. So if we have a look at light sweet crude oil, you can see where we're just sitting at key support. You've got a nice little wedge which is forming on light sweet crude oil. You've got lower highs on the chart as well, so we're waiting. We could get a breakout to the upside. It could really break out in either direction, but the predominant trend is down right now for oil, and you can see where we're just getting we're coming in for a fourth test of major support. The more times you test the support level, the more inclined it is actually to break that level. So you can see here where we're getting very close to now breaking key support. So I'm more than happy to get into a sell short here for oil, both on a day trade and also on a swing trade. So let me just show you exactly the sort of trade that I'm going to execute now. Okay, let me just bring out my binary platform. Right, so we've got the, essentially I'm going for a, you can see very clearly here, I'm going for a up or down trade, just going to commodities, up, down, rise and fall, just going to energy, selecting oil. I'm looking, first of all, my first trade, I want to be in and out just by the close of today. Okay, so I want to be out. I would have a look at this, let's have a look over 5 hours. Let's just see. Okay, need to go slightly forward in terms of start time there. There we go. So there is a Baker Hughes report this afternoon which comes out at 6 o'clock London time, which will create some volatility. So what I want to do is be out just before that report comes out. Okay, so that will just get me out of the trade just 10 minutes before that report comes out. I'll also look to take a swing trade as well. So I'm going for a deposit of $1,586. The payout on that is $3,000. Again, I'm just getting into that within 10 minutes time. This trade will get executed. The start time will be at 12:50. I'm looking to be in and out of that trade within 5 hours. So again, I just go over the criteria. It's a lower trade. I'm looking for the price to close lower. Entry price right now, 44.23. I'll just refresh and get the best price there. 89% payout. Very happy with that. And yeah, everything is looking good. So we'll purchase that for a sell short. Okay, super. So that has been done. So I'm now in a sell short on oil. I've taken that for a sell short. Now, my first trade there has been a day trade, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an additional trade for a swing trade. A swing trade means you just want to be in and out of this on a longer time frame. So I'm actually going to look to be in and out of this by Tuesday next week before the oil inventories are due. So we'll go to start time. In this case, I can go to now. I will be in and out of this, go to the calendar. And I want to be in and out of this by Tuesday the 1st of December. And actually, no, we don't want to go out that far. Go back again. No, there it is. Tuesday, the 24th of November. There it is. Okay, good. So I'm looking to take a day trade on this as well. And oil, I see the overall price structure. If we break down from key support as providing a good swing trade opportunity, might actually add more positions to this as each one of these trades starts to hit their profit targets. This is a trade idea, not guaranteed, of course, but I am looking to take advantage of momentum to the downside. So I'm just going to go for a sell order here, purchasing the contract, 78% return. So for a deposit of $1,685, for a $3,000 payout. So I'm going to take that trade. Okay, super. So that has been executed. So I've now taken the trade, 2 trades. I've got a day trade on oil and also a swing trade on oil. You can see where the price structure is looking good for a breakdown in price. So essentially what I would like to see here over the course of today is to take out support, break support, get a decent move lower here. You've also got some nice trend channels which are providing, you can see where we could break down to on the chart. So if I just extend these channels to the upside, you can see very clearly where we can easily just break down, come back down to the lower end of the trend channel. So we've consolidated enough now that we've come across to the right, and I'll be looking to take advantage of the next wave lower, which we're getting very close to at the moment. Okay, so looking good at the moment for oil. Right, so just double check if there's been any additional questions or comments at this point. No, great. Okay, so we're just going to continue to move on. We'll go over, so that's the energies at the moment. Now, I'll have a look at gold and we'll go over to silver as well. So gold's looking interesting. It did have a pop to the upside yesterday because the US dollar sold off, but the US dollar is gaining strength again today. So we'll go over to the US dollar index, which is the benchmark which you want to have a look at against a lot of the commodities. It looks like we could have a temporary pullback here just on the US dollar. It may well just be a temporary pullback just for us to go higher again this afternoon. So I want to see whether we get support. And it looks like we've already breached above yesterday's high. So if the US dollar picks up momentum again to the upside today, that will definitely start to lend some weakness to the metals. You can see gold today did break out to the upside, but then we're forming an inverse hammer again at the moment. If we go out to the tighter time frames, you can see we've got a bit of a rejection forming around this zone, bit of a consolidation. So we are in a decision point for gold. We can just put overhead resistance here on the chart. Again, always try and get parallel channels when you do this. You can see here we're ricocheting between some support and resistance levels on the tighter time frames. What I'm looking for is essentially rejection around this zone, a rotation low. You can, of course, take that on the tighter time frames. If we take out these, I would suggest just taking out the levels around 1,075 for a sell short. Gold, monitor that very closely. Gold will pick up momentum during the US session, so you want to monitor that over the US session this afternoon. If we look at the daily, you can also see very clearly we've got an overhead trend channel finding rejection there at the moment. I suspect this is either going to give us a sell short opportunity later on this afternoon, or as we head into next week, if the US dollar continues momentum to the upside. We have closed below critical support over the last week. The technical advantage is in the bears' favor, so we've got more downside momentum at the moment. The overall trend is very much bearish right now. If we do get a pop above this resistance, particularly if we can close, gold really needs to close about above $1,097 an ounce in order to pick up momentum to the upside. Otherwise, not really interested in buying gold, only interested in selling it on pullbacks. So that is what we look like we've got at the moment, but I need confirmation. So if we get a confirmed close below this zone today, we produce a nice rejection candle on the daily chart, we'll be looking to sell gold. Also, similar situation on silver. Silver is trying to break through resistance, not really doing too well. Looks like we're getting another rejection candle on the daily. Again, not quite ready to short yet, but if we do breach below the last couple of days of lows here, I will be interested in selling silver, particularly if silver breaks and closes below major support around $14 an ounce. If it does break and close below that zone, then we will be selling silver. Palladium is having a bit of an attempt to base around key support here as well. We can see the major support zone going back to 525 here. On the weekly chart, we have got a bit of rejection candle forming. I want to see how Palladium closes the week. If it does close with a solid rejection around key support here, might be interested in a counter trend buy in the short term here, just see if we can take advantage of a move higher. Platinum also watching very closely. We go over to the weekly chart, very similar situation. What you want to note on Platinum is you've got major trend channels which are being supported at the moment. So we've been monitoring these channels. You've got a parallel channel at the moment on the chart, which is getting some support at the lower end of that zone. Now, it could just be profit taking. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get a huge rotation higher here. Need more confirmation again, but I am noting that we are starting to base a little bit on Platinum and Palladium, but I really want to see how they close the week. Obviously, if Platinum just closes the week with a bearish candle or doji of some sort, it probably is not going to get enough of a momentum to the upside to really cause it to break out. Really, the markets for the precious metals, they need some sort of catalyst at the moment in order to really rally to the upside. So it could be based on geopolitical news, but as we head into next week, we do have some key dates coming up. So next Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving in the USA. And then Friday is going to be Cyber Friday, which is actually Black Friday, which is where you see all the big sales in the US. And then you've got Monday, which is Cyber Monday, where you typically see online sales such as Amazon, big e-commerce players will really start to rocket to the upside. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is if we get very strong retail sales and consumer spending over that period, particularly in the US, in America, because Black Friday is really generated from America, that's where it's come from, we could see strength into the stock markets in America and also into the US dollar. So if you can imagine, if they have record retail sales and consumer spending, we will see money flow into the stock market in America, and also into the US dollar will gain strength. And as an inverse correlation, we will see weakness on the precious metals and potentially other commodities. So just be aware of that as we head into next week. Okay, so what I would do, actually, I'll tell you what I'll go through now. I'll bring you back over to the main presentation. I don't think there's any more questions or comments, but let me go through that in a little bit more detail, actually, what you can anticipate. There are some big trading opportunities coming up over the next 6 weeks, which you definitely want to have on your radar, okay? Actually, let me just bring you back to this, and I'll talk you through exactly the trade opportunities which are coming up over the next 6 weeks, okay, and how you can take advantage of that via the private Traders Club at the Gold and Silver Club, okay? So let me just again share my screen with you, and I'll bring that up, just going into that little bit more detail. Okay, I'll make it this super easy just so you can see exactly what I'm going through on my screen here as well. So very simply, let me just put that to all attendees. You can have a look at the private Traders Club here. Okay, super. So essentially at the Gold and Silver Club, we have the private Traders Club. I know we've talked about this in some of the previous sessions, but if this is your first time to binary.com, this will definitely be of interest. And even if you've heard it before, you will be very interested, because this has now gone live in terms of the actual site here. So you can actually have a look at everything that the private Traders Club includes. So the private Traders Club includes Master the Markets trading course. Okay, so this really enables you to learn the signature strategies that we use at the Gold and Silver Club. It's designed to give you a very thorough understanding of the commodity markets, along with proven fundamental and technical trading strategies. These are the exact trading methods that we use and are used by professional traders in investment banks, hedge funds, used around the world in their daily trading activities. It's one of the most comprehensive commodity trading programs available anywhere in the world to teach you everything you'll need to know to become a consistent trader of commodities. Now, as a member of the private Traders Club, you also get access to our live trade setups, where private members get daily access to our profitable trade setups across the commodity markets, including the precious metals, the energies, and the agricultural markets. So every trade setup is shared on the forum, includes exact entry, exit points, profit, and stop loss targets. Everything is laid out very clearly to make it very easy for you to get that information. You also get an email alert that each trade setup, each new trade opportunity that we're taking, you get notified via email, so you can just get that trade set up on your platform. Now, some very key announcements which are coming up. There are some very lucrative trade opportunities coming up in December. So number one is Friday's non-farm payroll, which will be trading live at the Gold and Silver Club. So Friday, the 4th of December is non-farm payroll. We also have the OPEC meeting, okay? So OPEC meeting has provided typically some huge moves in the past. So last year we saw a 700-point move to the downside in 2 days, and we saw that on Brent crude oil, and we actually saw on WTI crude oil a 1,500-point move to the downside in the subsequent 2 weeks. So that is a huge trading opportunity as well on Friday, the 4th of December. And then we also have, this is a really big one for your diary, Wednesday the 16th is the FOMC statement. Okay, so the FOMC statement, again, that is a huge trading opportunity. In fact, let me show you what the FOMC statement, some of the previous statements that we've seen, how this tends to move the market. So if you haven't seen an FOMC statement before, how this actually affects the markets, let me just go through that with you so you can really get an idea of the sort of impact the FOMC statements have. Okay, so we trade the FOMC statements live at the Gold and Silver Club. I will show you the October FOMC statement, the sort of moves that we've had. So the October 2015 FOMC statement, the FOMC, Federal Reserve, they hinted a December rate hike could be imminent, and this caused a breakout on the US dollar. We've now had over 630-point sell-off over 7 days subsequently from the October FOMC. We had a huge move to the downside, which we traded really nicely, stayed in a lovely sell short on gold. The real star after the October FOMC was palladium, which we had over 1,300-point sell-off in over 10 days. So we've continued to see this breakdown in price. It's been a very lucrative trading opportunity. But you get this 8 times a year. You have the FOMC statements. This was the September FOMC statement where they kept rates unchanged. We saw a 325-point breakout. In fact, last year in October 2014 was a massive sell-off after the Federal Reserve ended quantitative easing. Why is that important to you at the moment? The reason why it's important is because there's a lot of speculation that the Federal Reserve are going to do their first rate hike in years in December, which will have a huge impact on the markets. You'll see huge moves for the US dollar. It will affect all the Forex markets. It will affect the indices or the stock markets, and it will affect the precious metals. You do not want to miss that trading opportunity on Wednesday, the 16th of December. So again, we'll be trading that live with everybody at the Private Traders Club, and you get access to the live trade setups via that. So essentially, we'll be trading that live, doing a webinar, and you get access to that, the exact same trades that we are taking during that live session. We share again our entry, our exit points, our profit targets, our stop losses, as well as walking you through the live trade setup step by step. You get access to our live trading technical analysis videos where we help you understand and implement the Gold and Silver Club live trade setups with a high level of accuracy for our precision trading. As well as that, you also get the inside track, which is the week ahead trading plan. So every single weekend, we provide private members with the Gold and Silver Club exclusive inside track week ahead trading plan. That's a comprehensive trading plan which outlines all the major economic events in the upcoming week, along with a list of profitable trade setups, chart analysis, commentary across the commodities market. So really ensures that you're fully prepared for the week ahead, so you don't miss any of the profitable trade setups which are coming. And you also get access to VIP email support, where our private members have access to a dedicated VIP email support line to contact the Gold and Silver Club and our senior traders whenever you need to on questions, if you require support on the trading course, technical setups, any market-related queries. So you're fully supported every step of the way. So that is everything which you get as part of the Private Traders Club and our Private Traders Club program. Essentially, if you would like to join the Private Traders Club, all you need to do is click on Enroll here to get started. Enrollment to the Private Traders Club is limited. We've just done a very large intake just actually yesterday, and we have got a limited number of spaces available. We're doing our final the final enrollment for this for the December enrollment, where you'll be able to trade all of these news announcements live with us, will be next Wednesday. So do make sure you get in touch with us ASAP if you would like to join the Private Traders Club. Very straightforward application. There will just take you just a couple of minutes to fill out, and we'll get in touch with you ASAP. Okay, so that's just a little bit more detail for you on that, and we look forward to working with those of you who will be taking us up at the Private Traders Club. Okay, fantastic. So guys, I wish you a great trading session today. Any questions or comments, do feel free to get in touch with us, and have a fantastic weekend, guys. Okay, super. Thank you, Sharice, for hosting today's session, and we'll see you all real soon. Cheers.